And the Colts are back home in Indiana, looking to extend the league's longest regular season winning streak today. And the Seattle Seahawks coming east to take on this undefeated team, and they're just looking to draw even on the year at 2-2. And welcome everyone to Indianapolis, and a great crowd here. Dick Stockton along with Charles Davis, and today the Colts seek their 13th straight regular season victory, and they've won in a variety of ways against Miami a couple of weeks ago. They hardly had the ball, and they won the game. Last week against Arizona, 21 points in the second quarter, so it's really hard to predict how the Colts go about their business.
It is hard to predict, and one good thing that helps them, there's no shortage of weapons on this team. And of course, they're led by the quarterback, Peyton Manning, who also doesn't let losses deter him. You lose Marvin Harrison, you plug in Pierre Garçon, and he complements playmakers like Reggie Wayne and Dallas Clark. This ball club comes at you from all angles and scores big.
They sure do. Seneca Wallace will start at quarterback for the second straight week. Matt Hasselbeck still out with the broken rib. But you've got to figure that Seattle's attention has to be on the defensive side of the ball.
And all attention will be on Peyton Manning, of course, because he's the Hannibal Lecter of players in this league. He gets into the heads of defenses, and he makes them change. Well, today the Seahawks plan to be quiet on defense. They're going to put wristbands on all of their defensive players. The scheme will be there, and it'll correspond to a number. And Pro Bowl linebacker Lofa Tatupu will call out the number of all the checks. They don't want Peyton Manning to hear their calls on defense because they're afraid he'll use it against them later. Is this a radical change? Of course. But when has the conventional ever really worked against the Colts?
Maybe we'll see the silence of the Seahawks this afternoon here in Indy. So we're almost set to go, and we'll be back after this from the Verizon Football Zone. Welcome back to Indianapolis, and now it's time for the Autotrader.com Ultimate Quarterback Comparison.
For Seattle, Seneca Wallace is no stranger to the starting role. He's filled in a lot for Matt Hasselbeck over the last 2 seasons, and he's been productive. As for Indianapolis, Peyton Manning, what hasn't been said about him? The numbers from last week say it all.
All right, Charles, Autotrader.com, the ultimate automotive marketplace, and we'll be back for the kickoff in just a moment.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
And welcome back to Indianapolis, and the retractable roof is open here, and a beautiful day, although we had some clouds a few moments ago that passed. 58 degrees, not much of a wind, and partly cloudy skies. The Seahawks have won the toss, and Dwight Freeney, who's all week, will give it a go and start. Suffered an injured quad in the third quarter against Arizona. And Freeney, who had 2 sacks last week against the Cardinals. So the Colts obviously could use him. And Jim Caldwell, in his first year as coach, last year was the head coach in waiting in Tony Dungy's final year. And Caldwell has been around a long time, and a great background in the college ranks as well. And there is Jim Mora, whose father, Jim Mora Sr., was the Colt coach for 4 years before Tony Dungy came to Indianapolis. And of course, Mora was an assistant in New Orleans when Jim was there. And this man, Peyton Manning, as a high school guy, used to come out and play. There's Seneca Wallace, the backup, who came oh so close last week. We're set to go Pat McAfee, the rookie kicker, and the Seahawks will get the ball as Justin Forsett and Ben Obamanu are back deep. There is Forsett. And the game is underway. Interconference battle on Fox, and it's Forsett starting from the 5. And Forsett is tackled just beyond the 20-yard line. And we are set to go with Seneca Wallace, who had career numbers last week in a losing cause and very nearly pulled off the upset against the Bears. And the Seahawks offense, and one thing, Charles, Seneca Wallace can really spread it around with his weapons.
He has a great number of targets, but they can't miss opportunities for big plays today.
First down on the 23, and Julius Jones, who had 98 yards last week against the Bears, gets 1 yard. And the tackle made by Tywan Hagler. And let's take a look at the Colt defensive unit. And Dwight Freeney was listed as the starter, but he's not in there. It's Raheem Brock starting in place of him.
And the Colts defense has been on the field a lot the last 2 ball games. 3 of their 4 starting defensive backs played every snap in those games.
They have had their injury problems on that side of the ball. Second down and 10. And Seneca Wallace swings it out to Julius Jones. And Jones gets to the 25 and is driven back. They'll mark it at the 26 with Tim Jennings, the cornerback, making the stop.
A lot of people like to run the football against Indianapolis Colts. They think that's the way to beat them. Sometimes when you don't get the running attack going early, use the short passing game as a complement. Almost the same thing as the running game.
And Dwight Freeney has come into the lineup, giving it a go. He is their premier pass rusher, and the passing down here on 3rd and 7.
Now, excuse me, that was Freeney right there.
Here comes Freeney trying to get to Wallace and misses him, and the pass is caught by Deion Branch, and Branch will have a first down beyond the 40-yard line, and a gain of 14 yards with Marlon Jackson, the nickelback, making the stop. So Branch, who's played against the Colts when he was a member of the New England Patriots, and of course the MVP in the Super Bowl 4 years ago.
Here's Dwight Freeney putting the pressure on his first play of the game, going after Seneca Wallace, working as Brandon Fry, but Wallace steps up, delivers the short pass that went for a first down.
From the 41, and here's Julius Jones, and Jones will be tackled right in his step by Tywan Hagler, gets to him first. And no gain on the play, so it'll be 2nd down and 10. Jones last week with 98 yards rushing and caught the touchdown pass and scampered 39 yards for the early touchdown. 2nd and 9. The handoff is to Jones off the left side. And the Colts doing a good job on this first series in run defense as Dan Muir and Keontae Dawson make the play after a gain of 1.
And now they've got you exactly where they want you, 3rd and long, which means you can bring Freeney off the bench as a pass rusher, coupled with Robert Mathis, number 98, and go after the quarterback.
Justin Forsett, the 3rd down back, number 20, has come in the lineup for Seattle. And the quick throw, and it'll be incomplete, going for Nate Burleson. And the coverage on the play by Tim Jennings, bringing up 4th down. So after 1 first down, the Seahawks have to punt. So John Ryan, who's leading the league at nearly 53 yards a punt, will be kicking, and T.J. Rushing is back deep to receive it for the Colts. Good kick, and Rushing will let it bounce, and it goes into the end zone. Touchback, and the Colts will start from the 20, and Peyton Manning, coming home after 2 road games, leads the blue and white. Welcome back to Indianapolis. Colts first possession from the 20. Fake to Joseph Adai. Manning with time, and a pass to Adai, and Adai getting big yardage on the first possession of the game for the Colts. Gets it to the 37-yard line. A gain of 17 with Lucas and Herring bringing him down. Very reliable Joseph Adai, and looking at the Colts offense, and it has been, Charles, a quick striking attack so far this year.
Yeah, and watching Peyton Manning orchestrate it is a show unto itself.
First down at the 37. Now the handoff to Adai, and he is tackled short of the 40 by Kelly Jennings, the left cornerback. and a 2-yard pickup. And the Seahawks defensively, and they welcome the return of the middle linebacker Lofa Tatupu, who really is the captain of this defensive unit.
Yes, and he leads a group of youngsters back in the secondary, where there'll be a lot of pressure on them today. They're seeking big plays and takeaways.
2nd down and 8. Dallas Clark lines up to the right, to the bottom of your picture. Manning has time, and again out of the backfield is a dive, and he is put down by Tatupu at the 44-yard line after a pickup of 6 yards. So welcoming back Lofa Tatupu, and this team has had more than their share of injuries this year.
One of the great attributes of Peyton Manning, patience. He wants to take it downfield. First 2 passes of the game, he had receivers running deep. Didn't have what he wanted, checked it down to the back both times for good gains.
5 minutes gone by. It'll be 3rd down and 2. Manning again with time, and the pass caught by Dallas Clark. And the reliable tight end has a 1st down into Seahawk territory, picking up 10 to the 45.
And it was 2 tight ends together, running at the top of the formation. Tammy goes deep. Watch 84 on the inside. He'll go deep, and then Dallas Clark comes inside of him shallow and catches the pass and moves upfield for the 1st down.
And as good as he's ever started a season. Fake handoff, and the pass to Garcon, and he holds on to it. Pierre Garcon, who has become the new weapon. With Anthony Gonzalez hurt and Marvin Harrison gone, they get 25 for the 2nd-year receiver.
See, Reggie Wayne in the slot, who I circled, he holds the safety, Jordan Babineau. That allows Garcon to get outside of the corner in the 2-deep coverage. He gets outside of Jennings, and Babineau's late getting there because his attention is on Reggie Wayne in the slot in the middle of the field.
And quickly a 1st down at the 20-yard line. Here's a dive trying to go left, and a good block, but finally Ken Lucas comes in to make the play, and a 5-yard pickup on the play. And right now for a game break, let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
Redskin quarterback Jason Campbell sacked twice and fumbled on the opening drive, and the Bucs take advantage. Josh Johnson, his first NFL start, his first drive, his first touchdown to Antonio Bryant. It's 7-0. Dick and Charles?
Couple of teams who need to win badly.
Yeah, and what a great way to get started for the young quarterback, Josh Johnson.
2nd down and 5. The handoff to a dive up the middle. 1st down inside the 10-yard line. And what a crisp drive this has been. Craig Terrell, who played his college ball at Purdue, making the stop.
Watch the offensive line. Watch the guys in the interior. Watch what they get done. There's Pollock, 78. Cutting back to the left side. Right in the middle, Saturday, 63. 74, Charlie Johnson. One of the things the Colts wanted to really improve in the offseason, their running game. Last 2 ball games, averaging nearly 5 yards per carry.
Donald Brown, the rookie running back from UConn, and 1st-round pick number 31, has replaced a dive, and he'll get the call from inside the 10, breaks a tackle, and dives forward to the 5, where Darryl Tapp brings him down. A 4-yard pickup. So it'll be 2nd down and goal. And this is what the Colts have done, 50% from the red zone. And that's about 14th in the league right now. But it's been a kind of a strange season, as we pointed out, not having the ball much in one of the games, the Miami contest. 2nd and goal, and the handoff to Brown again, diving toward the goal line and stopped at the 2-yard line. After picking up 4 yards, it'll be 3rd and goal.
And I know that the Colts are built on Peyton Manning's right arm, but you get the sense that this offensive line would like nothing more than to run the football into the end zone. They've kind of reestablished themselves as a running threat with their offensive line. They felt disappointed about how they ran the ball last season.
They were 31st in the league, Charles, you're right, and they picked up 126 yards rushing against the Cardinals. Look at the shifts now as Robinson and Clark go split to the left. 1st and goal from the 3, in for the is Donald Brown. They trusted the rookie when they got close to the goal line, and he delivered his 2nd touchdown of the season.
And they also brought in Eric Foster at fullback, number 68. But watch Brown, number 31, get the handoff and just power forward. Almost the same play as we saw before, this time Deem.
For the Colts, and the offensive line deserve A's across the board, and Peyton Manning was a perfect 4 for 4 in that drive. So now Forsett goes back deep for the Seahawks, who find themselves in an early hole here as McAfee kicks off. Forsett, couple of yards in the end zone. Forsett getting to the 30 and knocked out of bounds. An outstanding return by Justin Forsett. And the kicker McAfee involved on the play as Seneca Wallace comes back with his team already behind by a touchdown.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Ink, the new business card from Chase. Make your mark with Ink. By McDonald's. And by Chevy.
And welcome back to Indianapolis. Dick Stockton along with Charles Davis. And the color pink will be prominent today. And many, if not most people, know the reason why. First down and 10. Seneca Wallace's pass caught by T.J. Hushmanzada. And he's close to first down yardage at the 46-yard line. Give him 9 yards on the play. NFL-wide celebration of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And many of the players will be wearing pink, some part of their uniform, and there's the marking on the field at the 25-yard lines. Second down and 1. Julius Jones forward gets the first down as we have more on this Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Celebrated today from the third member of our team, Jamie Maggio.
Thanks, Dick. That's right. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. In NFL stadiums across the country, you will see pink goalpost padding. The players will be wearing pink cleats, pink gloves, and they're even using pink coins for the coin toss. But this cause has personal significance for both the head coaches today. Coach Mora's mom, Connie Mora, and Coach Caldwell's mother-in-law, Novella Johnson, are both breast cancer survivors. Back to you.
All right, Jamie, and there are a lot of players who have a close personal attachment to this problem, and including Jim Mora, whose mom has also been involved with it, a breast cancer survivor. So there you have some of the items and some of the events as part of the breast cancer awareness. Second down and 6, and a flag is down and a false start penalty called against Seattle.
5-yard penalty, still second down.
Brandon Fry, the left tackle, he's been shaken up this week. Questionable. Rob Sims also in there. They had problems with the health on the left side of the line. As Mike Carey indicates the false start, the first penalty of the game. And Matt Hasselbeck on the sideline. Still hampered, unable to breathe much or run with that broken rib. Second down and 11 at the 46. And on the delay, Julius Jones with a head of steam gets into Colt territory. And he is down at the 46, needs about 3 as we check in again. The game break with Kurt Menefee.
Bears down 7-0 to the Lions. Follow the flying quarterback, Jake Cutler, on the scramble. And then watch this dive into the end zone. Woo! Shades of Mark Duper ties the score at 7 apiece early on in the first quarter. Dick, Charles, and welcome to Jamie Maggio.
All right, Kurt, this man has no fear.
He has no fear, and that's the type of play that really puts a team firmly on your side.
Third down and 3. Crowd is vocal here. Fake by Seneca Wallace, being chased by Raheem Brock and running out of bounds. And a first down at the 42-yard line. He can use his legs effectively.
Look at the coverage in the secondary. Great job. Really nice job by the Colts secondary, taking away all targets for Seneca Wallace. So he had to use his legs, and he was under pressure early. Look at here, Raheem Brock, number 79, chasing him outside of the pocket. And then Seneca makes a dash for the first down, and it was close, but he picks it up.
And if Raheem Brock, Charles, doesn't stumble a bit, he may get to him. In any event, as we wind down to 3 minutes to go in the first, it's a first down on the Colts 43. And here's Julius Jones, a power formation, and a big tackle made by Eric Foster behind the line of scrimmage and a loss of 3.
One of the goals for the Colts in the offseason was to get bigger in the interior of their defense, but they didn't want to sacrifice speed. And that's exactly what has happened here. Eric Foster, who started 11 games last year, defensive tackle, he runs this play down from the backside. Stout at the point of attack, the backside man comes and gets the play.
Second down and 14. And now there are 3 wide receivers in there for Seattle, and the quick pass to Deion Branch, trying to get some running room, and Branch won't get there. Speed with Melvin Bullock, the strong safety, coming in again, and another loss, this time 2 yards. So in the last 2 plays, the Seahawks have lost 5 yards.
Dick, Melvin Bullock's going to get credit for the tackle, and what a great play, but here's where the play is made. Watch Tim Jennings. See, he knocks off the timing. Nowhere for Deion Branch to go. Tywan Hagler, 56, also team. And Freedy back on the field.
Design rollout for Seneca Wallace, and he can't find anybody as he was chased by Freddie Keaho out of bounds. So a losing proposition for the Seahawks once they got into Colt territory, and they'll have to kick it away.
2 immediate thoughts. Freddie Keaho, number 54. Watch him late in this play come after Seneca Wallace to force the issue at the end of the play. Second thought, you're outside the pocket. Throw the ball away. Save the yardage off of the sack.
So now John Ryan will be kicking from his 30, and T.J. Rushing will be back. So Ryan picking up where he left off last week with that 57-yard punt. This one will go into the end zone, and the Colts will begin once again from the 20-yard line. So we've seen the Colt offensive line and now their defense. Seneca Wallace, number 15. Greg Knapp, the offensive coordinator, trying to figure this out. And it right now appears to be an uphill climb for the Seahawks. Colts with Joseph Adai going outside and coming in to make the tackle. 3 white shirts led by Lawrence Jackson. So Peyton Manning 4 for 4 on that first series. Starts it off with a 1-yard running play, and we're under a minute to go in the first.
And you called it, Dick. That was well defended by Seattle. The Colts' signature stretch play, but they were not knocked off the ball and strung it out.
Second down and 9. Manning's pass is batted in the air. Lofa to Tupu coming in, and it'll bring up third down and 9.
No underestimating the impact that Tupu has on this defense. His being back doesn't quite get to Manning, but does a great job of getting his hand up in the passing lane and bats away the second down attempt.
You talked about Garcon. Austin Collie, a rookie wide receiver, number 17, who they have high hopes for, is in the lineup as the third wide receiver. Reggie Wayne coming tight to the line. Here comes the rush, and a good catch made by Joseph Adai. And Aaron Curry makes the stop. But not enough for the first down, and fourth down coming up. Good pressure that time by the Seahawks.
A real good series for the Seahawks on defense. After the first series, the Colts went right downfield and jammed it in the end zone. That time Corey Redding, coming from his left end position, provided the pressure, made Manning check it down, short of the first down.
Nate Burleson will go back deep, and the final seconds taking place. Good start for the Colts. That's the end of the first quarter. Indy leads at 7-0. Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages. And we start the second quarter, and that 3 and out by the Seahawks defense is going to give them a lot of confidence, as Pat McAfee, wearing those pink shoes, more than a splash of pink, in his breast cancer awareness campaign, punting Nate Burleson, and it takes a Seattle hop, and it is down. So the Seahawks will get the ball again, and they'll have decent field position beyond the 35 when we return. Seahawks are looking to generate something after punting the first 2 times they've had the ball, and Edgerrin James, number 32, who played 7 glorious years for the Colts, is into the lineup. First down at the 38, and it's play action, and plenty of time, and going deep for the rookie from Penn State, Dion Butler, incomplete. So they sent the speedster downfield, but he was well covered by Tim Jennings.
I love what Greg Knapp did on offense here. He went heavy run personnel, 2 tight ends and a fullback, brought their rookie speedster off the bench, Dion Butler, threw a double move on Tim Jennings and took a shot downfield. While unsuccessful, it helps pay dividends because maybe it'll loosen up the Colts for the run game a bit more.
And Seneca Wallace is going to have to be accurate as a passer as James gets the call, and he crosses the 40, gets to the 43-yard line, where Tim Jennings and Ed Johnson makes the tackle, and a hand from the appreciative Colt fans for the NFL's active leader in rushing as he comes off the field. And a smile on his face, appreciating it all. And Peyton Manning telling us the other day he was a pillar of the success of this franchise, Charles.
Said they never could have achieved the heights they did without him helping set the foundation.
Very classy crowd here in Indianapolis. 3rd down and 5. Pass caught by Houshmandzadeh, gets the first down and gets out of bounds to the Colt 49, picking up 8 yards.
And TJ Houshmandzadeh does a lot of good work in the slot. Here he is coming out on just a little short route into the flat, makes the catch, turns upfield. I think today he and Nate Burleson have to get going, as well as John Carlson, the tight end, to help out Seneca Wallace.
Here's Edgerrin James diving forward and gets to the 44-yard line where Melvin Bullitt makes the tackle. Hey, you've got the weapons, you got to use them. And now they have Edgerrin James, the Colts' all-time rushing leader.
The guy piled up well over 9,000 yards in his career with the Colts, and he left the team 1 year before the Super Bowl team.
And they sent him a Super Bowl ring the year after he left. That's class 2 as James charges forward. Will be 2 yards short of a first down. Raheem Brock, who's been playing with Dwight Freeney at defensive end, stopping James after a pickup of 4. And that will bring up 3rd and about 1.
As we look at the numbers here from Edgerrin James, he's ahead of some pretty good names in pro football history. But it'll be interesting today to see if he does get going in the run game, how much more the Seahawks may use him, feeling that he may be motivated a bit more being back here in Indianapolis.
Surprised Lydell Mitchell is ahead of the likes of Dickerson and Falk, who did most of his great work with the Rams. 3rd down and 1. And the pass is caught by Houshmandzadeh, a tough catch, and a first down to the 37, a 4-yard pickoff. And with a defender on his back, Gerard Powers, the rookie from Auburn, on first down for the Seahawks.
I think TJ Houshmandzadeh came to play today. Last week he got caught up a little bit with, the Bears didn't really recruit me as a free agent. I want to prove a little something to them. And, a lot of yip-yap back and forth. It really didn't help him out during the game. I think he may have tried too hard. Today, all's quiet, and he just goes out and plays.
Off to a
nice start.
Yeah, we were singing that in melody there. First down at the 37, and getting away from trouble, and the pass is caught by John Carlson. And Carlson stepping out of bounds at the 21-yard line, and a penalty marker down.
Colts are emphatic that it's going against Seattle.
That would be a 16-yard gain pending the penalty.
Holding. Offense number 74. 10-yard penalty, still first.
So Ray Willis, the right tackle, Short circuits a 16-yard pickup.
Look over here. This is where it's going to come from. There's Ray Willis working. I believe that's Robert Mathis, 98. Takes him down, and that nullifies a really nice play by Wallace and John Carlson.
So instead of a first down inside the 20, Jim Mora's Seahawks are back at the 47-yard line of the Colts early here in the second quarter. Edgerrin James remains the tailback. First down and 20. Handoff to James. And James can't get away from Marlon Jackson and Eric Foster picking up 2. There you see the substitutions coming in. John Owens, the second tight end, as Edgerrin James goes out. He has carried 4 times for 16 yards.
And the Colts are mixing and matching their defensive linemen down after down to keep fresh guys in the lineup.
Second down and 18. And the pass is caught by Carlson. And Carlson gets to the 34. A gain of 11 yards with Bullitt and Mathis combining to make the play.
Have you noticed something just a little bit different about this Colts defense? Have you noticed blitzes? You know, for years they played a lot of cover 2, just let the front 4 go after the quarterback. Under new coordinator Larry Coyer, they're dialing up a few more blitzes this year to increase the pressure.
And that's what Coyer did in Denver when he was with the Broncos so successfully. 9th play of the drive. It'll be third down and 7. Justin Forsett is in there, stepping up and directing traffic, and finally the pass downfield caught by Houshmandzadeh. He's inside the Colt 10-yard line, and it'll be a first down. So an ad-lib play of 27 yards from Wallace to Houshmandzadeh, and with Bullitt making the tackle, the Seahawks have a first down. And another penalty flag has been thrown.
Might have been over the line of scrimmage throwing the ball, Dick. Watch the scramble by Seneca Wallace. The pressure's on him, flushed by Raheem Brock. And then as he motions downfield, gets dangerously close. There he is. See, the blue line is the line of scrimmage, and that's not definitive, but the officials are on the spot. There's Mike Carey, the referee.
And that's a loss of down as well. That's a loss of down.
Illegal forward pass. Offense, throwing the ball. Every part of his body was beyond the line of scrimmage. That's a 5-yard penalty, plus a loss of down, 4th down.
And the blue line is the line of scrimmage as we take a look again. And you heard Mike Carey, the official, say every part of his body. Remember, that's a determination. It has to be all of the body across the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, it's a legal play. You can have, an appendage across, but not the full body.
And the blue line, remember, is unofficial, but Seneca Wallace across the line. So 2 penalties really hurt the Seahawks on this drive. So it's 4th down, and John Ryan again into punt, and TJ rushing back deep. Ryan seeking to keep the ball inside the 20 on a kick and a fair catch, and did his job perfectly. The fair catch at the 10-yard line. So the Colts get the ball again. Peyton Manning comes out leading 7-0.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Hyundai Assurance. A little certainty in uncertain times. By State Farm. To us, nothing's more important than being there. And by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
And welcome back to Indianapolis. Dick Stockton along with Charles Davis. Jamie Maggio is down on the field, 7-0. 9:30 remaining in the second quarter. The Colts going 80 yards for a touchdown and then going 3 and out their second possession. Starting from the 10. Peyton Manning with a fake handoff, and the pass is caught by Dallas Clark. And Clark will have a first down at the 23, picking up 14.
The versatility of Dallas Clark at tight end means you can use spread formations without bringing in an extra wide receiver. you can just use your tight end, Dallas Clark, as that wide receiver, and they do so to their advantage on first down.
And here's Donald Brown getting the handoff, going outside with a first down, fumbles, and let's see, Jordan Babineau had recovered. The question is, did he have both feet inbound for the recovery?
Deion Grant strips the football on the tackle of Donald Brown, and Jordan Babineau grabbing the ball and going out of bounds. I'm not sure he had possession before he went over the sideline.
The ruling on the field was the ball was fumbled forward, out of bounds, recovered out of bounds, first down.
And I think your observation is right on the money.
Yeah, and I don't think this is one that Seattle needs to challenge. Doesn't have the possession as he goes over the sideline. First down for the Colts.
17 yards, and Donald Brown gets nothing on first down, thanks to Craig Terrell. And a penalty marker down on the far side at the 43. Thus far, the penalties have gone against the Seahawks. Jim Mora and Jim Caldwell waiting as we are.
Illegal substitution on the defense, 12 men on the field. 5-yard penalty, still first.
Seahawks have to be wondering, at what point do we not get a call? I mean, every call today feels like it's going against them.
And they are, except that if you commit these penalties,
exactly. But when you're a team that's had a bunch of injury problems, coming in off of a loss, you're looking for something good to happen. Instead, they feel like they're being piled on. And they thought they had the turnover created on the run play by Donald Brown. Remember, this is a defense that has only forced one turnover all year. And they're trying to get the guys on the field, off the field to make sure they have the right number.
That play will be voided, and a warning will go to Indianapolis. The next time it'll be a 15-yard penalty. There will not be a 5-yard penalty against Seattle.
So what they're saying is that Indianapolis was substituting. Seattle was trying to substitute to match. You're allowed to match the substitutions because of the proliferation of the no-huddle offenses. They're saying Indianapolis didn't give them that opportunity to match, voiding the play, warning to Indianapolis about that type of a tactic.
So there's the explanation, and this is the chess game that goes on very often behind the scenes in games.
Especially versus no-huddle offenses when you're trying to get your own personnel out there on defense to match what you think Indianapolis is going to do on offense.
Now, their players on the defensive unit are wearing those wristbands. And remember, as you pointed out at the top, Charles, that there's going to be no shouting of signals by Lofa Tatupu, that he will yell out a number, and they will look down and see what they are.
See, Aaron Curry just moved on us, but some of them are wearing them on their belt loops. Some of them wearing them on their forearms, about where they're going to look down. There's the wristband, just like an offensive play caller would have. All right, and Zarek Rollins, their linebackers coach, calls it in. That's him. He calls the defensive call into Lofa Tatupu, who will shout out the number that corresponds to the defensive play on the wristband.
And he's wearing one too. So it's 1st and 10 at the 41 of the Colts. And Manning's pass, and it's caught by Austin Collie. And Collie is tackled at the 47. Kurt Menefee with a game break.
Good game going on between the Ravens and the Patriots, and that's Tom Brady with a quarterback sneak to give New England a 10-7 lead. He went to the locker room right afterwards, guys. We'll update you on his condition. It could be anything from an injury to a potty break.
All right.
We don't know.
2nd down and 3 after the 7-yard pickup. Thank you, Kurt, for that update. And here is Adai, and he is stopped right in his tracks by Brandon Mebane. Put on the pressure, but the tackle was by Lawrence Jackson. And Jackson, count on him.
And welcome back, Brandon Mebane. Great job forcing the pressure as he goes right past Ryan Lilja, the offensive guard. Creates the penetration, and then they clean up with the tackle.
Third down and 3 for the Colts on their 48, leading 7-0. Manning gets time and gets pressure thrown up there, and it's caught by Pierre Garçon. Peyton Manning stood his ground and got the pass downfield. A 35-yard gain to Garçon at the 16.
How about Peyton Manning throwing that one all arm, unable to step into the throw due to the pressure in his face. Seattle showed blitz, dropped out of it, rushed 4 men, and then Manning drops it in nicely to Garçon crossing field.
Biggest gain of the day for the Colts. Manning is 8 of 9 now for 115 yards. First down from the 17. Joseph Adai going outside, and he is wrestled down by Jordan Babineau after a pickup of 5. Under 6.5 remaining here in the second quarter. Colts threatening, leading 7-0. Second down and 5 at the 12. And Manning will swing it out to Adai inside the 10. First down to the 5. Lucas and Babineau on the stop. And a pickup of 7 yards. First and goal for the Colts.
Boy, it's hard to match wits with Peyton Manning, isn't it? In the last play, he takes Collie and Wayne to the same side, runs them into the secondary, which creates the lane for Adai swinging out of the backfield for the gain.
Top offense in the NFL, showing why. First and goal from the 5-yard line. And Manning with a lot of time throws into the end zone. Touchdown to Reggie Wayne. In some respects, they're making it look easy here in this first half.
And watch the throw from Peyton Manning. A lot of people at home are thinking, whoa, boy, he threw this one low. I think he did that on purpose. That's something he and Reggie Wayne work on in that situation. In traffic, throw it low where only he will have a chance to catch the football and absorb the hit and get into the end zone. That's not an accident.
And the only player who could catch it would be Reggie Wayne. And Wayne, with his 3rd touchdown catch of the year, Adam Vinatieri for the extra point, and giving the Colts a 14-0 lead. And that's 8 touchdown passes for Peyton Manning, 2 touchdown lead in the first quarter against Seattle. Well, Lofa Tatupu talking with Casey Bradley, the defensive coordinator, and the victim of 2 long drives, and there Tatupu hearing it from Bradley as Pat McAfee wearing the pink shoes and the pink wristband on Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Justin Forsett bringing it out for the Seahawks and gets out to about the 21-yard line. So 2 long drives of 90 and 80 yards, giving Indianapolis a 14-0 bowl.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Sprint. This is the NFL Now with NFL Mobile Live, only from Sprint, the Now Network, official wireless service sponsor of the NFL.
Well, before we saw Bradley really upset at Lofa Tatupu, he said, why not bring the whole defense together? Let me give them the message.
Tough when you're going against Peyton Manning. You can be upset all you want. Hard to stop.
Seneca Wallace's pass to Branch, and good aggressive defense as Marlon Jackson and Melvin Bullitt are in there, and a 1-yard pickup on first down.
And you know things are frustrating, Dick, because that is really not Gus Bradley. He's not a real yeller and screamer, not all that animated most of the time, much more of a teacher. So they've really gotten to him. Things just aren't going the way he wants them to go for Seattle. You've got to feel like he thinks they're missing some assignments.
He's upbeat guy, but he's upbeat in both ways, I guess. Second down and 11. Seneca Wallace drills it to Burleson, and he doesn't get much after making the catch. They get out to the 25, where Gerard Powers wraps him up in a hurry.
How about the play by the rookie out on the corner? Powers sees he's got a direct sight line right back to the quarterback and the receiver. You call it cluing, so you can clue the quarterback's drop, and as soon as he hits his drop point, you break up on the football, and an excellent job of form tackling to finish off the play.
Gain. Forget about running after the catch the way the Colts are playing them.
They don't give up much.
3rd down and 7. Here comes the pressure on Wallace, and the pass is caught by Burleson. It'll be a 1st down for the Seahawks. Out to the 34, a 9-yard gain. Jennings on Burleson, who gained over 100 yards last week.
To the far right is Nate Burleson, making the cut, sure-handed catch. The Colts do not give up much in terms of yards after catch. Less than 4 yards lead the league in that. They tackle very well in the secondary, but Nate Burleson knew how to run the route deep enough to get the 1st down.
Hand off to Julius Jones with a burst up the middle and met head on by Antoine Bethea, the free safety, and is knocked down. That's a 7-yard pickup, and he felt it. Let's hear it.
7 yards and a headache.
He'll take the 7. 2nd down and 3. 3 minutes remaining in the 1st half. Seahawks trying to get back in this game. And there's the pass caught by Houshmandzadeh, and he gets a couple of yards after the catch, but the Seahawks will take it, getting inside the Colt 40, a 20-yard pickup with Session, the linebacker, and Jennings downfield.
Another one of the players that has to have a nice day for Seattle. TJ Houshmandzadeh running against the corner and before the safety, and that's a well-thrown ball by Seneca Wallace. Gives his receiver a chance to catch the ball before he is defended.
Good numbers so far for Houshmandzadeh, and that's what Wallace has to be, accurate on plays like that. And the handoff to Julius Jones, busts out of it. And Jones, and it seems there are always 3 or 4 Colts around the ball. The 3-yard gain on that play as we approach the 2-minute warning.
Their ability to throw the ball is helping the run game.
And we're down to the 2-minute warning here in the 1st half, with the Colts leading the Seahawks 14-0.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Visa. Visa debit is easier than cash. More people go with Visa.
And a big day of football. Fox NFL Sunday coming up, the 2nd half of our doubleheader. The Cowboys at the undefeated Broncos. The big game coming up next. And with 2 minutes to go in the 1st half, it'll be 2nd down and 7, and Freeney in the game, Charles.
Yeah, it's a big 2nd down. He's been playing on 3rd downs today, coming back from the quad injury.
Seneca Wallace looking for help, and it's tipped, and a flag goes down as Tim Jennings got a hand on it, and a penalty marker down about the 25.
Before the ball was thrown, holding. Defense, number 23. 5-yard penalty, automatic. 1st down.
Well, Jennings giveth and taketh away on this one.
Tim Jennings working against TJ Houshmandzadeh. A cover 2. Holds on to him a little bit too long, and before the ball is tipped, and then he's the guy who tips the football. So the penalty goes against him and nullifies the nice play he makes later.
Rob Sims, the left guard, who's had a strained oblique, comes out. Mansfield Rotto, number 66, replaces him. And a 1st down on the 30. Seahawks trailing by 2 touchdowns. Pump fake, and this pass, and it is caught by Dion Branch. And another 1st down for the Seahawks. And they'll mark it inside the 10-yard line. A 23-yard gain on this one.
This ball has to be thrown in the hole down here against cover 2. What a great job by Seneca Wallace, putting the ball flat and in the hole before the safety can get over versus the 2-deep coverage. That was a well-thrown football.
And a huge drive, but the Seahawks actually need a touchdown Just getting on the board won't be enough the way this game has gone. First and goal at the 9. Wallace giving ground and his pass thrown away. And it's a good thing he did it because Houshmandzadeh was well covered right near the end zone at the 1.
Exactly right about that one, Dick. Watch the coverage by Tim Jennings. Goes into press, knows that he doesn't need to retreat much because the end zone and the back line actually helps as an extra defender for him. So he's not going to get off of the receiver, play him tight, snug up to him, nowhere to go with the football.
And Charles, the Seahawks' chances of this game rest on these next 2 downs. Trailing by 2 touchdowns, and now the Colts are calling a timeout. That is their first timeout of the game with 1:43 to go in the half. We'll be right back.
Red zone defense, and the Colts have a little bit of confusion, so the head coach has to get involved. Watch Jim Caldwell. Your takeoff, 10-yard sprint, 15-yard sprint. Got to get a timeout called. This is where they have the NFL Combine every year, and Coach Caldwell's trying to get some more eligibility.
Oh, he could run the 40 and 4-3. Second down and goal from the 9.
Houshmandzadeh right here in the slot.
They hand off to Julius Jones going outside. Jones driving is knocked out of bounds. And they'll mark it at the 2.5. Jennings making the play, and another penalty flag down at about the 10.
Holding. Offense number 74. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Trey Willis, second time he's been called for a penalty.
And the Seahawks just got a call to go their way with the holding on defense against Tim Jennings. They just gave it right back.
See, the red zone offense against the Rams, who they shut out in week 1, did pretty well. The last 2 weeks, not so well, 20%. And now it'll be second and goal, and the ball will be at the 19-yard line.
And I think this takes away any threat of the run game for Seattle.
They send Houshmandzadeh and Burleson to the left. Branch to the bottom of your screen. Play action. Seneca Wallace has to check down to Julius Jones, and he is ridden out of bounds by Marlon Jackson. The clock will stop at 1:31, and a gain of 2 yards. So it'll be third and goal, and it's a long to the goal.
Big win for the Colts secondary because Deion Branch on the post corner, Tim Jennings sitting right on it. Nowhere to go. Look at Houshmandzadeh in the slot. He's covered by Gerard Powers deep. And Burleson cutting to the inside, also covered.
And Matt Hasselbeck listening to the calls, wishing he were out there. Third down and goal from the 16.
Play pocket 4.
And a timeout. They just got it off before the 5-yard delay of game call. And they don't have to worry about timeouts. That was the first.
30-second timeout.
And coming up on the Visa halftime report, which will be coming up on 91 seconds from now, exactly. Kurt Terry, Howie, Michael, Jimmy, all of them, scores and highlights from around the league. And the Fox Sports ticker has up to the second scores and stats. I was going to ask you, Charles, I was going to turn to you and ask you when they got inside the 5 as to whether maybe on 4th down they would try to get a touchdown. But now they're way out there, and I don't know whether that's a smart move now.
I think that's only a call that you consider making if you're down inside around the 3-yard line on 4th down, because otherwise it's a very low-risk play.
No, but at the 3, they might have to do it. Yeah, the 3
you might have to do it. You might have to consider it. But right now, it's not even in the thought process. They want to get to that stage first.
So it's third and goal from the 16. Empty backfield. Seneca Wallace being chased and down at the 22. A loss of 6. Robert Mathis and Raheem Brock with the first sack of the game.
And Dick, we're seeing the new Colts on defense because this wasn't just a front 4 rush. They brought more than 4. And look at those guys get after it. Covered up in the secondary, brought a little extra pressure. Raheem Brock gets to Seneca Wallace, finishes off the series. field goal attempt now by Seattle. It's a huge win for the Colts defense.
So Olindo Mare, who missed 2 critical field goals last week, and Jim Mora said it was not acceptable, absolutely not acceptable, and came down hard on Mare after the game and then kind of backed off after that. So the penalties have really hurt Seattle. This will be a 38-yard attempt by Olindo Mare, and this kick is good. Not what Seattle envisioned when they were inside the 10, but it is now 14-3 in favor of the Colts with 1:22 remaining. Thanks to Mare's 38-yard field goal and Robert Mathis, who's right behind Dwight Freeney in career sacks for this outstanding franchise.
And not only do they do a great job of sacking the quarterback, they cause fumbles when they get there. Freeney #1, Mathis #2 since 2002 enforced fumbles in the NFL.
Key penalty on Willis on that sequence, and on the last series, 2 penalties. Illegal forward pass and a holding call.
And Dick, know what else the defense did for them besides hold them to a field goal? They left a minute 22 for Peyton Manning.
He doesn't need that much. As you see, his number so far has thrown incomplete on 1 pass and has a touchdown to Reggie Wayne. So 11 plays, 57 yards, a field goal for Seattle. And the kickoff headed to TJ Rushing, who's rushing upfield and gets to the 20 and is dropped with 1:17 on the clock and 1 timeout left for the Colts. Well, weekdays make lunchtime your new prime time as FoxSports.com brings you lunch with benefits. Log on to check out new episodes of original sports shows delivered to your desktop every Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, don't miss the after party with Jay Glazer, where Jay will chat with all of today's biggest performers. That's only at FoxSports.com on MSN.
Middle.
1st and 10 at the 22. Donald Brown, who scored one of the touchdowns for the Colts, and this pass up the middle to Dallas Clark, and he has a first down close to the 35.
And they have a lot of trust in the rookie Donald Brown, working the 2-minute offense with him in the lineup instead of a die.
12-yard gain on that play. This one caught by Reggie Wayne, who's hit immediately at the 41, picking up 7 with Curry, the rookie, and Fisher. Nearly 45 seconds left, and here's an open receiver, and it's the rookie, Austin Collie, who goes out of bounds, stopping the clock and a first down at the 49. 8 more yards. He is slicing and dicing this Seattle defense.
And Austin Collie's first 5 catches in the NFL all went for first downs. He knows where the sticks are.
4th round draft pick out of BYU. They know how to open it up there. First down, play action. Manning has an open Donald Brown out of the backfield. Flag is down at the 45 on the near sideline. And there you see the holding sign by Manning after the 13-yard gain, which, by the way, if he's not wearing a striped shirt, is not going to count.
No matter what the Colts fans think.
Mike Carey.
Illegal contact, defense, number 59. Penalty is declined. Play results, first down.
See, it was an illegal contact, not a hold, Peyton. So Curry committing the penalty. And they will
They'll
decline
take the play.
it.
Yeah, they'll take the play.
Will take 13 yards. So a little more than half a minute remaining in the first half. 1st and 10 at the 38 of the Seahawks. Three-man rush. Manning's pass. And it's caught by Garcon. And another flag is down. It would be a first down pending the penalty. Picking up 12.
Illegal contact, defense, number 24.
Deion Grant.
And Dick, remember how the
The
Seahawks...
penalty is declined.
If you decline it for 13 and a first down, you certainly will on a 12.
Correction. There is no foul for illegal contact. The quarterback was out.
Well, now they correct it.
Remember how quiet the Seahawks said they would be on defense with just Lofa Tupu calling out numbers on wristbands? That's kind of gone by the wayside lately. I'm hearing a lot of chatter from the secondary of Seattle trying to make sure they're lined up correctly to combat Peyton Manning.
We'll review the last play with instant replay.
And it's a booth review on that last one. Peyton Manning, perfect on this drive. He was perfect on the 2 scoring drives. We'll return. Back here in Indianapolis, a booth review is in progress. Mike Carey checking to see whether it was a catch or no catch. Pierre Garçon on that last play.
And there's the catch by Garçon. I don't see all, but is that definitive enough for them to overturn it? And here's your third angle. And now you see Tupu kind of obscuring the last view.
And that flag that was picked up. So Peyton Manning on this drive is a perfect 5 for 5 for 51 yards, and he's thrown to 5 different receivers.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
So you're right. Couldn't turn it
overturn
around.
And one of the things, Dick, when you go with this no-huddle, hurry-up offense for the Colts, everyone focuses on the backs and the receivers, hustling back to the line of scrimmage, getting set. The only way it works is if your linemen hustle downfield and get set. And the Colts, tremendous at getting downfield and getting ready to go and saving time.
Boy, Seneca Wallace looking awfully glum on that sideline. So with 30 seconds to go, it'll be 1st and 10. Ball at the 27 of the Seahawks. Colts have 1 timeout left. Giving ground and throwing the ball away. Good pressure from the cornerback, Travis Fisher. We haven't seen much of the secondary blitzing so far today.
Well, I think what they're trying to do is you take a look as Aaron Curry, number 59, comes from the outside. They want the ball to get out of Peyton Manning's hands as fast as possible. Plus, you're in the area where you're almost conceding a field goal. If you can get a big sack and take them out of field goal range, you can save yourself points. Risk reward is being called by Gus Bradley, the defensive coordinator.
2nd and 10, again a 3-man rush. Here come the Seahawks. They send linebackers as well. And this pass is thrown, knocked away. Garçon, well defended downfield. Lawyer Malloy, as well as Kelly Jennings.
And that was well defended.
Holding. Offense number 63. 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
And the veteran Jeff Saturday, who's been around forever. Saturday, an 11-year veteran, and when you have a center like that you can depend on for 11 years, that really keynotes your offense too.
And this is his 10th year as a starter. He and Peyton have quite a bond together. Take a look. Look in the middle. I'm not sure it was 63 or right there, number 66, Kyle Devan with the takedown.
2nd down and 20. Fake handoff. Here's Reggie Wayne on a wide receiver screen. Still on his feet. Gets a first down to the 16. And a 22-yard pickup. 13 seconds on the clock. It'll be 1st down. How do you stop this guy?
How about this wide receiver screen? And take a look at the offensive line and watch the offensive line, because they're going to be the guys getting right down here to create the screen lanes as they cut back inside. Look at this. 1, 2, 3 offensive linemen right there. They're the ones clearing the alley. Now you run right up in the alley. Look at what Reggie Wayne does. Gets right upfield and follows his blockers in the alley straight up for the maximum gain. I mean, that's just beautiful timing. And what about the linemen getting a chance to run downfield and hit someone? They never, ever turn that opportunity down.
And the Colts use their last timeout. 13 seconds left. It'll be a 1st down on the 16 of the Seahawks. And here's Manning's pass, leading Reggie Wayne a bit too much with Ken Lucas right on his heels.
But he had the matchup he wanted there. Reggie Wayne one-on-one. And when we talked with Reggie, he told us that Ken Lucas makes you earn every catch you have because he's physical on the corner and he's got a big body that you have to go over the top. Nice job by Lucas pinning him to the sideline. Ball just a little out of reach for Reggie Wayne.
And now you know why Tom Moore at age 70 does not want to leave the game. They settled his pension problems, he and Howard Mudd. And he says they're going to have to drag me out of here. Why not with the offense they have here in Indy?
And you saw Wayne down here by himself, isolated on the bottom.
Second down and 10. And the play clock gets down to 0-0.
5-yard penalty is still second down.
You don't see that often.
You're not gonna hear that very often. Peyton Manning not knowing the play clock.
Here's Tom Moore. Says, I never want to get out of this game. And Moore has had a great career. Was an assistant to Chuck Noll in the great Steeler team. So it's now 2nd and 15 from the 21.
It actually gives them an extra margin to work from on offense, too.
Pressure on Manning. Here's the pass. And a great catch by Austin Collie and a touchdown. First NFL touchdown catch, and he wants to hold the ball. And you're right. He wanted extra room, and Peyton Manning has tied Fran Tarkenton for the most touchdown passes in NFL history with 342. It's his second of the game. And Adam Vinatieri adds the extra point. So this is what Jim Mora faces. Seahawks don't get a touchdown, have to settle for a field goal, leaving that man, Peyton Manning, enough time to come back and get what? A touchdown.
They used a minute 19. They left him 122, and they got it done. Right here, Austin Collie in the slot, working right up into the seam. And look at him going over Travis Fisher, number 28. The extra 5 yards didn't bother the Colts. Give them a little bit more working margin to run their routes. And you saw the separation Collie got just in running the route from Fisher. Ball's placed perfectly. Another 6 points for the Colts.
So they don't have Marvin Harrison. They don't have Anthony Gonzalez. But they do have Pierre Garçon and now Austin Collie moving into the picture as well. Always weapons, as you pointed out at the outset, for Peyton Manning, who accepts congratulations. And it's 21-3. 3 seconds remain in the half. And the scoring drive, they went 78 yards in less than a minute and a half.
Austin Collie reminding people here in Indianapolis of another terrific slot receiver they had in the past, Brandon Stokely, who's now playing quite well for Denver.
And played well for the Ravens and caught the first touchdown pass from Trent Dilfer in the Super Bowl win over the Giants.
You know, son of a coach. His dad was a longtime coach of Southwest Louisiana.
And here is McAfee with the short kick. And it'll be down at the 37-yard line by Nick Reed. And 3 seconds to go. Not much you can do there. And Seneca Wallace. We'll talk about it more when we come back before the second half kickoff, going back to the drawing boards, this offensive unit.
Yeah, and right now, as we head to the half, you saw the shots after the touchdown when we cut and you showed the bench. You saw Seneca Wallace looking a little bit forlorn over there. He's got to find a way to rally his ball club after the half, come out with renewed effort and determination. They can't ever think that maybe he's getting down too.
Well, the penalties really did the Seahawks in. And that'll run out the time. Well, Wallace is 14 of 17. That looks good. But again, could not score to keep in this game. That's the end of the half. With a score, Colts leading 21-3. And back here in Indianapolis with a score 21-3, and we have seen Peyton Manning and the Colts offense as efficient as you could possibly imagine. So, you know, what did the Seahawks talk about inside to get back in this game? They've had chances. Penalties have hurt them. What now?
I think you nailed it, though. It's the penalties. I mean, when you look at what they've done in the first half, I think you said right going to that. Seneca Wallace, what, 14 for 17 throwing the football? Heck, they're about 50% on third downs. You're wondering what is going wrong. They've had key penalties at the wrong times that have taken themselves out of plays on offense. And then the last drive on defense for the Colts, they had 2 penalties that were both declined that the Colts were able to continue down the field. If they can just play some clean football, I think they'd like to see how things would turn out then, but they always end up shooting themselves in the foot and knocking themselves out of drive.
What can the Seahawks do about the tempo of the Colt offense, which is, you know, if you haven't seen it, you can look at it on film, see it in person, different story, right?
Yeah, it is a different story, and the reason that they're not able to get off the field against the Colts is strictly that they don't make a play. I mean, the Colts, the only way you knock off their tempo is to make plays that slow them down. They did it on the second drive of the game. Slowed them down right out of the gate, got off the field on third down. But if you don't do that, I'm not sure we have a real explanation or an answer of how to slow down the Colts.
And on top of all that, the Colts are going to get the ball first. So
that's just wrong.
Yeah. There you see the first half summary. And yeah, time of possession, how important is that? Well, we've seen that with the Colts against Miami.
And the penalties were only 4 for 30 for Seattle, but how many were declined by the Colts on the last drive?
And also key penalties, though. It's not always the number, but how key are they? Anyway, Edgerrin James, first time back in Indy since he started for the Colts for those 7 years. Played a couple of series, and now we'll see whether he'll see more action. Olindo Mare will be kicking off. That's TJ rushing. Chad Simpson had an abdominal problem, and he's no longer on the team as this kick goes into the end zone, and the Colts will start from the 20. That's not been a problem. First touchdown drive was 80 yards. The second one was 90 yards. And then the third one, 78 yards, which they did in a jiff. So there is Manning, 17 of 20. You saw the numbers, 220 yards. And there you see they were 3 and out on their second possession. Other than that, TD.
And how upset were they on the second possession? Punt? That offense? Punt?
Not too much work for Pat McAfee. So Joseph Adai at running back. He's gained 20 yards, and Donald Brown has gained 21. Take inside handoff with time, and the pass caught by Colley at the 28-yard line, and a gain of 9 yards.
Look at Austin Colley working in the slot. Works, finds the space, and he comes out of BYU. So he understands space on the field relative to other receivers, getting into the right spot, sitting down. Great job.
Second down and 1, and they'll try to run it for the first down, and it's a dive bounding back, and he's not going to make it thanks to Colin Cole. And right now, let's send it down to Jamie Maggio. Jamie, we're going to get back to your mic is not working.
Number.
But I like the report. Adai in the backfield, 3rd down and 1. And we'll get back to Jamie. Play action on 3rd and 1. They go up the middle to Adai. He'll have the first down. And he is stopped by Lawrence Jackson after a gain of 8 yards. First down out to the 36.
How about this, Dick? They put Eric Foster, their defensive tackle. He's at fullback. He goes into the flat. Watch Peyton Manning's ball fake to Eric Foster in the flat like he is a viable receiver. And then he cuts it inside to Joseph Adai to pick up the first down.
That trickster.
You think Eric Foster almost had a heart attack when he thought the ball might be coming to him?
Peyton Manning, first down, and here again, fake Adai with the handoff. That was a great subtle fake And out to the 44, picking up 7. And let's go down once again to Jamie Maggio. It's working, I bet.
Let's try this again, Dick. All right, I had a chance to speak to the coaches at the half. Coach Caldwell said he is very impressed with his young guys on offense. Pierre Garçon, Donald Brown, Austin Collie. They come to practice, they work hard, they study hard, and they're getting better every week. He said he'd like to see them stop the run a little bit better in the second half. Coach Moore, on the other hand, he says those penalties in scoring position are detrimental, obviously, to their play today. He said they need to defensively get them off the field in the second half. Back to you guys.
Thank you. Good report. Glad we went back to get it as the ball is tipped incomplete, intended for Reggie Wayne. And what did Reggie Wayne tell us in our meeting the other day? He says, you know, our young receivers want to be good. They write down everything that is said, and, you know, they make me want to stay on my toes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a new thing for him because for so many years, he and Marvin Harrison, you know, they kind of knew everything Peyton would say. They knew everything Tom Moore would say. They weren't worried about it. Now the new guys are coming and taking down everything that's being said like it's the gospel. And it is.
3rd down and 3.
Louisiana. Richmond wide dirty. Brown, Richmond wide dirty.
Manning's pass caught by Wayne into Seattle territory and a 1st down to the 47-yard line. Is that practice or is that a game, the way he's directing?
You mentioned it a couple times today, Dick. You said pitch and catch. Absolute pitch catch. Listen to Peyton work.
Louisiana. Richmond wide dirty. Brown, Richmond wide dirty.
The way he nods his head is as strong as the words he uses. 1st down. And here is Manning at midfield, and the pass caught by Wayne, who steps out of bounds with yet another Colt 1st down at the 34, picking up 13 yards.
And watch Peyton Manning now working with Reggie Wayne. Remember, for years, Reggie Wayne was the number 2 receiver here with the Colts with Marvin Harrison. But in the last couple of years, he's assumed the number 1 role. And do you know how difficult that is? How often do you see it?
John List.
West Europe. West Europe. West. Wide.
Fake handoff. Here's Collie. And Collie is tackled at the 20. And a flag is down on the near sideline. Darryl Tapp making the tackle. So there you see Reggie Wayne, most receiving yards.
Offensive pass interference. Number 85 was blocking downfield before the ball was touched. 85.
So that'll be on Pierre Garçon.
There he is. Let's take a look and see. You know what the difference is? For a young guy, still relying on the college rule. He can go downfield and block in college before the ball's out of the quarterback's hands and to a receiver. In the NFL, it has to be to the receiver. Then you can throw your initial block.
And that is an outstanding point. So it'll be 1st and 20.
Now this guy, I just mentioned it, from a 2 to a 1, but it wasn't a sudden and dramatic deal. It happened gradually as Marvin Harrison's career was coming to an end. Reggie Wayne assumed more responsibility.
I'm trying to think of others right here, and I can't think of many. And here is Manning, and out of the backfield, Joseph Adai, and he is hit hard by Deion Grant. You can hear that everywhere at the 34 after a 9-yard pickup. Wow.
And Deion Grant's been around for a while. He started all 130 games in his NFL career by dealing blows like that.
2nd down and 11. So far it's been a big day for the Mannings. 1 in Kansas City, 1 at home. Quick pass to Dallas Clark. 1st down for Dallas Clark to the 22. And let's get a game break right now from Kurt Menefee.
Bears and Lions tied at 21 at half. They start off the second half by untying it due to the Chicago Bears. Johnny Knox, 5th-round pick out of Abilene Christian, takes the second half kickoff 102 yards for the score. It's 28-21 quickly. Bears on top. Dick and Charles.
All right, Johnny Knox, what an impact he has made in Chicago. Meanwhile, with 5 minutes gone by in the 3rd, 1st down at the 21 of the Seahawks, and here is Donald Brown back in there. Donald Brown with a touchdown earlier in the game, picks up 5 yards, and Dallas Clark, the tight end, with a timely block there.
Yeah, he's known as a receiving tight end, but he's a willing blocker too. Helped set the corner on the stretch play for Donald Brown. All right, look to the left of your screen, 44, there he is. Look at him, right there.
Second down and 6.
Black 48! Black 48! Hot, hot! Hot, hot! Okay, okay. Black 11! Black hot!
And they'll give it to Brown again. Trying to go outside. Donald Brown with the burst gets a first down and knocked out of bounds by Babineau after a gain of 5. And right now the Colts knocking on the door again about a penalty marker down.
Blocking back. Number 87 of the offense. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
So Reggie Wayne will nullify that first down. That would have brought him just outside the 10.
Watch Wayne working against Ken Lucas, number 31. And right there, yeah, as he rides him inside. What he probably wanted to do was just kind of wall him across, you know, just wall him off. But he got enough of him, and Lucas sold it real well, diving back towards the line of scrimmage that he was right in front of the official, and the flag had to come out.
Lucas and Wayne are no strangers
to
each other.
No, they know each other well. Wayne was, Wayne played in Carolina, and this is his second stint here in Seattle. Reggie Wayne said he's always a tough matchup, but you can only get so upset at Reggie Wayne for that penalty. You know why? He's a more than willing blocker as a wide receiver.
Second down and 15. Ball back inside the 30, and there's Austin Collie. And Collie getting close to the first down, maybe a yard shy. So Austin Collie, who caught a 21-yard touchdown pass prior to halftime, his first NFL score.
Collie, number 17, cutting inside. And look, and see right there, Dallas Clark runs the clear out or pick route if you're a defensive back. DB says that's a pick. Offensive coaches say that's a clear out route.
How about this? Austin Collie was the 32nd receiver to catch a Peyton Manning touchdown throw. Third down and 1. A dive. A dive. A dive for the touchdown. Joseph Adai up the middle for the touchdown. And Adam Vinatieri trying to give the Colts a 28-3 lead. About halfway through this third quarter, and he does. So Joseph Adai with his second rushing touchdown of the year adds to the Colts, trying to make it 13 regular in a row.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag, it's on. By Lipitor. By the Ford F-150, built Ford tough. And by Bud Light, with just the right taste that's not too heavy, not too light. The difference is drinkability.
Well, the Colts now lead at 28-3 on Joseph Adai's 12-yard touchdown run. An 80-yard drive. Remember when they didn't have the ball much against Miami? Well, touchdown drives of 90, 80, 80, and 78.
Seattle has yet to touch the ball here in the second half.
Van Obamana will down it for the touchback. And the Seahawks will finally get a chance. Well, both running backs, Brown, the rookie, and Adai have scored touchdowns, and Manning has thrown a couple.
Watch the Seahawks defense show pressure. Watch the guys creep up towards the line of scrimmage versus this play called by Peyton Manning. Now he goes to the audible. He essentially talks them out of it. Watch them back off now. And he goes to the run play to Joseph Adai, who scores the touchdown. And you see as the die goes through, Hannibal Lecter talks Seattle out of what they had thought of. Goody, goody.
Well, he's got a doctorate in that position, doesn't he? Forget about graduate student or master's. He's a doctor in that. Julius Jones, the running back, getting the call. First down from the 20, and a good run and a first down for Jones to the 31-yard line. And a flag down.
Holding, offense number 66. 10-yard penalty, still first.
That's Mansfield Rado, who replaced Rob Sims, who was hampered this week and out of there at left guard.
There he is. Working inside on Antonio Johnson. Gets a little bit of a hook right there as he goes past Julius Jones.
So two rookies, Lacey and Powers, are the corners for the Colts here. First down and 19. There's Lacey. Seneca Wallace's pass thrown behind Nate Burleson. So the Seahawk team a little bit in disarray right now, and the Colts are responsible for this.
They heard him coming out to start the second half, just held the ball up until about the 8-minute mark, paid off in a touchdown. Now the Seahawks trying to figure things out. Aaron Curry getting some tutelage from his defensive coordinator Gus Bradley on the sidelines. The Seattle offense trying to make headway.
Second and 19. They'll go to Jones again. And they get about 3 with Ed Johnson, number 92, making the tackle.
Well, you got to take this opportunity to teach, no matter what the scoreboard says. And there's the first-round pick, Aaron Curry. And one of the things the Seattle coaches say about him is that he soaks things up very well. Typically only have to tell him something once. He's got it right after that. And he takes coaching and criticism very, very well.
It'll be 3rd and 15. And Deion Butler, third-round pick from Penn State in there. And the old Syracuse pass rusher, Dwight Freeney, is in on third down and long. And on the pressure, here's the screen to Justin Forsett. And Forsett and Dwight Freeney coming back into the play, makes the tackle, holding Forsett to 2 yards and bringing up fourth down. Thank you very much, Dwight.
How about that? But how about the hustle on the play by Dwight Freeney? Not only does he rush the passer, but because Eric Foster, number 68, helps hold up the running back after the screen, Dwight Freeney comes back and gets a piece of the tackle. Pulled quad muscle or not, Dwight Freeney, when he's on the field, you're getting maximum effort.
So John Ryan will be kicking from inside his 5 to T.J. Rushing. Good hang time, and Rushing at the 30 will go down. Couldn't get underway, and a 53-yard punt. Lance Lowry making the special teams tackle.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by Lowe's. For all your home improvement needs, Lowe's. Let's build something together.
And Dwight Freeney's been on the bike today, pass rushing and getting downfield to stop running plays. So coming back from that quad injury, questionable all week. A lot of people didn't think he'd play today. So it's first down for Peyton Manning on the 33 with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Donald Brown, the rookie from UConn, running the ball and picking up a couple of yards on first down. Tapp making the tackle. So the youngsters coming up big today as the Colts returned home after 2 road games. And that included Collie and Garcon, the wide receivers, and of course Donald Brown.
Yeah, Austin Collie, a true rookie. Pierre Garcon really spent a redshirt year last year, getting tutored by Marvin Harrison. Donald Brown, another rookie, all contributing big today.
Second down and 7. Manning completes the pass to Collie, and Collie is down at the 41-yard line.
Take a look at what these guys have done today. Pierre Garcon on the corner, catching the pass. Donald Brown with the touchdown run. Then Garcon again. Beautiful throw by Manning. And then how about this? Austin Collie in the end zone with a great catch.
3rd and 2, and the Graybeard has achieved another little accolade for himself, which we'll tell you about. 3rd down and 2 at the 41-yard line. And there is the shuffle pass to Dallas Clark, and he has the first down. Here's the story with that last pass. Peyton Manning, who has 6 now, has 308 yards passing. And for the 4th straight time, he has gone over 300 yards in a season. First time in his career. 4th straight 300-yard passing game. First time in his career.
Hard to believe you're saying something for the first time in his career with all the records Peyton Manning has set. Still setting more.
Winding down to 4 minutes to go with the third. Fake the run, and taking the shot downfield and overthrowing Reggie Wayne. Ken Lucas covering, and Wayne claiming he was interfered with.
And the official saying that it was not a catchable pass.
Foul for pass interference. The ball was ruled uncatchable.
Yes, the field judge Buddy Horton telling Reggie Wayne uncatchable, thus there can be no penalty. Peyton Manning off of a play action fake gets the one-on-one matchup he wants, which is Reggie Wayne. And see the official? He's going to motion and tell Reggie Wayne, see the motion over his head? That's the signal for uncatchable ball.
And you wonder that maybe if he didn't slow him up, it would have been catchable downfield.
And I think that's what Reggie Wayne was trying to tell him.
2nd and 10. Hand off to Donald Brown, and nothing there as he is stopped immediately. And it was Patrick Kearney, first time we mentioned Kearney's name, who has been the premier pass rusher for this team. Quick.
And look how fast they just went.
Intercepted by Ken Lucas. So they hurry it up, double time it, and Lucas gets the interception. And the Seahawks get it back. Trying to go to Wayne on that one. Great day for Peyton Manning, who threw the interception on the last play. 26 of 32 for 307 yards. 4th straight game he's gone over 300. And Edgerrin James is in the game now, and he's up top as a receiver to the right. First down, the pass up the middle, tipped and nearly intercepted by Antoine Bethea. Second down.
Now go back to the interception. Peyton Manning sees that Seattle is milling around a little bit. He calls to his team the signal for go, let's go quick. Let's line up. But what he doesn't figure on is a 9-year veteran out on the corner, Ken Lucas, and a 10-year veteran, Deion Grant, over the top. They were not fooled and pulled off the interception.
2nd down and 10, and this pass is caught by Burleson and close to the first down, covered by the rookie Jacob Lacey.
See, sometimes you can get the youngsters where they're running around saying, oh, what do I do, what do I do? But the veteran figured out what Peyton Manning was trying to do and made a nice play.
First interception of the year for Lucas, and the second for the Seahawks, as David Hawthorne picked one off against Jay Cutler last week. First down for the Seahawks on their 48. And a completed pass to the 45 to John Carlson, picking up 7 with 3 minutes to go in this third.
And with 3 minutes to go and down 28-3, Seattle does not have to go to a full hurry-up, Dick, but I think they have to have a little more alacrity in and out of the huddle, getting to the line of scrimmage, starting to move the pace a little bit more if they hope to get back into and win this ball game.
Get me a dictionary.
To go forth with enthusiasm.
2nd down and 3, plenty of time, and they go to James out of the backfield, and his extra effort, the missed tackle made by Clint Session, and a first down at the 40 of the Colts for Edgerrin James, getting 6 tough yards. Here's the crowd with it. Appreciate it.
How often do you cheer an opposing player putting a move on one of your own players? Well, you do it if Edgerrin James is the one. Plus, with a 28-3 lead, the crowd could be a little bit magnanimous, couldn't it?
Yes, I would think so. And Edgerrin James remains in the game. And a false start penalty, Brandon Fry.
Offense, number 77, 5-yard penalty, still first.
So the left tackle and a 5-yard penalty. So just when, the Seahawks were a little bit in sync for one of the few times today, it stalled.
Get right back out of sync, unfortunately.
Now they're discussing it.
Because Seattle was adamant about Clint Session, number 55 for Indianapolis, jumping. See, there's Fry, 77, that movement, because Dwight Freeney actually moved first, and then Fry jumped at that point, but Freeney wasn't across the line of scrimmage.
False start. Offense number 77, 5-yard penalty. First down.
The replay showed it all.
See, Freeney gets it. There's your jump. That moved Brandon Fry into motion, and then he points him out. Without it, you know it was him. Look, sir. Excuse me, Mr. Official.
Look what these Colt veterans have done. You showed Peyton Manning talking the Seahawks out of a defense where a die runs for a touchdown. Now we see Freeney using, his veteran experience to force a false start. So it's 1st and 15.
Good to be in the league for a little while and pick up a few tricks along the way.
From the 45, deep drop, and flinging it and making the catch is John Owens. And Owens is tackled after an 8-yard gain to the 36 by Powers. So Seneca Wallace, a little unorthodox, got the job done on that play.
And I don't think the Colts are ever going to be confused with being an all-out blitz-type team where you look at them coming from every angle, every play. But they have definitely increased the number of times they're going to bring extra guys in pressure. Very nicely done by Seneca Wallace, avoiding the pressure and finding Owens in the flat.
2nd down and 7. Wallace's pass, and Burleson can't make the grab. He had Powers with him. So 3rd and 7 coming up.
And that's a rookie out on the corner. Started the season opener. Had a little bit of an injury. We're talking about Powers out on the corner working against Burleson in the ISO. Look how he goes up and gets his hand between Burleson's hands as he tries to make the catch. They say he's a very mature rookie. They actually jokingly call him the old man.
Wallace pretty good on 3rd down passing. See what happens here with 7. Wallace getting out of trouble. And the ball is loose, and the Colts may have it, and it looks like Freddie Keaho on top of the ball. Mathis forced it away, and I believe Keaho recovered for Indy. Turnover by Seattle. Well, Robert Mathis swatted the ball away, and since 2002, Freeney and Mathis 1-2 for most forced fumbles in the National Football League. So Peyton Manning is out there again with under a minute to go on the 34, 1st down. Joseph Adai cutting upfield, and Adai gets about 4 to 5 yards. Call it 5.
Here comes Dwight Freeney off the edge, working against Brandon Fry, helps force the pressure, makes Seneca Wallace step up. That's step 1. Step 2, his partner in crime, Robert Mathis, with a strip. Yeah, and that feels good. His Alabama A&M Bulldogs played here yesterday, the Circle City Classic. Got a win. Sure, they added a little extra juice to the man today.
Why not? Field was good for them. It's good for the Colts today, and the pass caught by Dallas Clark, and another 1st down into Seahawk territory to the 46, 15 yards, and that'll be the last play of the 3rd quarter, and it's been all horseshoes today, and that is the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. The Colts 28 and the Seahawks 3. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a break from your local Fox station. Start of the 4th quarter, Dick Stockton and Charles Davis, Jamie Maggio down on the field. 28-3 the Colts lead, and a 1st down on the 43 of the Seahawks. What's getting under his skin now?
He was ready to go.
And moments ago, a salute and the crowd responding to Edger and James, and a great class organization. Jim Irsay and Bill Polian have run here for many years.
Hey, you got 24. You got 24. He's coming. Watch
Hand off to Joseph Adai, and Adai gets to the 44-yard line. And thanks for the memories for Edgerrin James. See you soon in the Ring of Honor. And we told you earlier they gave him a Super Bowl ring when he left the club a year before they won the Super Bowl, beating the Bears. And you know, the class of this organization, we mentioned Irsay and Polian. Hey, Tony Dungy, class man as you'll ever find, followed that. And Jim Caldwell follows in his footsteps.
And you mentioned earlier Jim Irsay sending Edgerrin James a Super Bowl ring after that, saying, hey, you were a big part of this even though you weren't here that year.
2nd down and 9. Pressure on Manning goes down, but it's caught by Reggie Wayne. And a 1st down, so Manning hits the deck for the first time thanks to Brandon Mebane, but he gets 12 yards and a 1st down anyway. But let's wait.
I think they're saying he did not catch the football.
Oh, touched the ground, the point of the ball, right?
He ended up catching the back end of the football, or the top as it went down, and there it is hitting the ground clearly. Nice job by the officials.
Wayne wearing the pink gloves. Of course, the
wristbands,
NFL
towel.
Celebration of the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Pink, blossoming color here and everywhere in the NFL. 3rd down and 9. Pressure again, and the middle screen to Joseph Adai, but he's hit and down immediately by Aaron Curry. And a 2-yard pickup, and it's 4th down.
And that's a really nice tackle by the rookie Aaron Curry. What's the hardest tackle in football? Open field tackle against a shifty back or receiver. Watch Aaron Curry come under control, wraps up, puts him down right on the spot.
And earlier you showed where Gus Bradley was teaching Aaron Curry. There is Nate Burleson, Pat McAfee, 7th round pick from West Virginia. Punting for the 2nd time. Flag is down and trying to keep it in the field of play. Bounces into the end zone, but let's see the call.
Illegal formation, offense, only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Seattle is elected to take it at the dead ball spot, 1st down in the 25-yard line. Timeout.
And we'll take a break. We're early in the 4th quarter, and a huge lead for the unbeaten Colts.
Today's game is sponsored by DirecTV. Follow your favorite team no matter where you live with NFL Sunday Ticket on DirecTV. By Gillette Fusion, fresh blade, more comfortable shave. And by Domino's Pizza. Domino's has 4 bold new oven-baked sandwiches for just $4.99 now at Domino's.
And we're back here at Indianapolis. Haven't needed Adam Vinatieri's foot in crucial situations today. It's been 2 touchdown passes by Peyton Manning and 2 running scores. And now Seneca Wallace back at the helm and a 1st down at the 25. And down he goes. 4th sack of the game by the Colts. And it's Dwight Freeney. Remember, he wasn't going to play, but Dwight Freeney, who had 2 sacks last week, picks up another here.
Just the quickness again. Freeney coming off the edge, uses his patented spin move, and then bowls his way past Brandon Fry to pick up another sack.
In the last 7 years, Dwight Freeney ranks behind Jason Taylor for the most sacks in the league. Loss of 8 yards, they'll run it to Julius Jones. And Jones will bring it to the 19. Melvin Bullitt, the strong safety, comes in there after a gain of 2.
You know, we talked about the spin move of Dwight Freeney, and then he bowled his way past. This is a power spin. Look at that. Takes him in the inside arm. Just knocks Brandon Fry backwards before he bowls over the quarterback. Not just a spinner, power spin.
So there's the numbers that we just were talking about. Taylor leading Freeney. Crowd still hungry. They're on their feet at 3rd and 16. And the pass incomplete to Burleson. And coverage on the play by Jacob Lacey, who's getting A lot of action today, and fourth down coming up, and a kicking situation once again for Seattle.
Colts do such a great job of identifying talent that fits their system. Jacob Lacey is an undrafted free agent, did not get drafted at all. He comes in and now is playing quite well for them. Bill Polian identifies these guys each and every year. Jeff Saturday, their Pro Bowl center, wasn't drafted, right? Ryan Lilja, their starting guard, not drafted. Kyle DeVan, who's playing a lot, not drafted. But they all can play.
Here is Rushing. Trying to get outside, and he may do some business if he does. And it's the punter, John Ryan, the punter, rides him down. Otherwise, who knows what would have happened. A 22-yard return by T.J. Rushing. We'll be back. And it'll be first down at the 48-yard line of Seattle. Faking a dive, and a good fake there. Here's the pressure, and he saw it coming, and it was Corey Redding. And getting rid of it in a hurry, throwing it toward the line of scrimmage, so no grounding on that play, incomplete.
But watch this. Now, this is a really smart play. Watch on the return. Sometimes it's the block you don't make. That's the key. Watch right there. Mike Hart. See that? Now watch what he does so that he doesn't clip. Hands go in the air, and he just uses his body in front of him. And then how about the punter? Who says they don't have courage? Close to a horse tackle tackle, but it wasn't. Horse collar tackle, but it was not.
And then quick to Dallas Clark. And he is wrestled down by Babineau after a gain of a couple. Peyton Manning, 28 of 36, and Dallas Clark, remember he caught that touchdown pass on a play action against Miami on the first play of the game.
Yeah, it led to a huge yards after the catch night for him. Set the tone for the Colts, who did not have the ball much. Only 14 minutes and 7 seconds in that game, and still won it.
Dallas Clark again goes split. He's wide but not at the line. There he is, third down and 7. And in motion. Good protection. And the pass is caught by Reggie Wayne, diving inside the 30. And another first down. Lopa to Tupu. Put him down, and now the ball is at the 27 of Seattle. An 18-yard pickup between those two familiar cohorts.
And what the Colts do is they cross-train all of their receivers, meaning they use them at all the different positions so that when they call plays, they try and find the best matchups for Reggie Wayne. They want him to be able to be in the slot, be outside. Doesn't matter whether he's on the left side or the right side. So all the other receivers have to know all of those positions too in order to create those opportunities for Reggie.
Great balance. Wayne with 6 catches for 74 yards. And there is a dive. And Adai is dragged down. Clark has 7 catches. Colley has 6. We want to tell you about the American League Championship Series. Starts October 16th on Fox. The Red Sox, the Angels, the Yankees. Who are the Yankees going to play? Well, that remains to be seen. It all begins Friday, October 16th on Fox. Baseball's postseason returns then. And there you see the Detroit Tigers won. 5-3. Minnesota's winning, and they're headed for a 1-game playoff on Tuesday. And the winner of that game will have to face the Yankees on the road. So it'll be second down and 9 here at the 26. Short drop by Manning, batted in the air, nearly picked off. Colin Cole. And let's see whether Peyton himself got a hand on this.
Yeah, this is, again, football IQ off the charts. Batted back at him, and Peyton Manning volleyballs it down, finishes with the spike to make sure it's not picked off. Takes a little extra hit for his efforts from Darryl Tapp, but he got the job done.
You know, Charles, we're seeing things done by Peyton Manning that you don't see in the box score today.
No, that's so true. Look at 421 total yards. And the Colt defense has to feel good about the number they see from Seattle.
Third down and 9. And his pass caught, but short of the first down by Dallas Clark. And it's not done by accident, because the kind of work that he does in a game is phenomenal, and in preparation during the week.
How about Jim Caldwell and the work he's gotten done in this short season, taking over for Tony Dungy, trying to get to 4-0. He's doing things his way, but not changing things unnecessarily here in Indianapolis.
So Adam Vinatieri will attempt a 37-yard field goal, his first try of the game. And Vinatieri's kick is good. He has missed 2 field goals already this year, but this one is good. And Jim Caldwell's Colts now lead it 31-3.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Toyota. Moving forward.
You know, a year ago, the Colts got off to a rocky start. They were 3-4, and then they went on a tear, won their last 9 games of the regular season before losing to San Diego in the playoffs. The Chargers have knocked them off the last 2 years. And this year, they're headed for 4-0 as Ben Obamanu downs it in the end zone, and Seahawks start from the 20. So the Colts, and you know, it's amazing that in preseason you had the problems. No more Harrison. You had the 2 veteran coaches who didn't know if they were going to be back again, and Peyton Manning had a couple of comments. New head coach there. And now you say, well, you know, is this team going to be a little rocky when they start off? And here they are.
Well, Jim Caldwell said there was never any turmoil. They knew what was going on inside the walls of their offices and inside their training facility. They knew everything was working towards the proper conclusion. So they never saw it as turmoil or a distraction. We did from the outside, but they did not. And it's evident they knew what they were talking about.
Julius Jones. And the first down for Seattle to the 23. And there's the architect on the right, Bill Polian. And what a great run they have had here in Indianapolis. They ended up 12-4 last year. They've been a perennial playoff team, Super Bowl champion. And Jim Caldwell, and everyone talks about how Jim Caldwell was at Tampa Bay under Tony Dungy, here under Tony Dungy, but his background is a lot deeper than that. And there is the screen pass and almost into the hands of Keontae Dawson.
Almost too easy for him. Probably surprised him to see the ball in his hands like that. Would have been an interception. And look at this, what the Colts have done. Best record in the NFL in 10 years, in the last 10 years. But you're talking about what he did in college, where he got his training. Ray Dempsey at Southern Illinois, where they won a national championship and won AA. Joe Paterno at Penn State. Howard Schnellenberger at Louisville. Bill McCartney at Colorado.
Wow.
He took pieces of all of Dennis Green at Northwestern. Pieces of all of those guys helped shape him today.
What a background. 3rd down and 7. Here comes the pressure. The ball is knocked away. It's a free ball, and the Colts have it. And it's Raheem Brock who is stopped inside the 5. And Robert Mathis did it again. He swatted the ball away earlier, and he stripped the ball away here.
Take a look. Robert Mathis once again getting it done. Another strip, forced fumble, and the Colts capitalize. This time Raheem Brock picking it up and taking it towards the Seattle goal line. There's Mathis right there. He's going to come off the edge. Gets past Brandon Fry, the youngster. Finished rehabbed all week. And boy, how fun is that to rehab and know you have to face Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney and Raheem Brock. Not a fun day for the young man.
Maybe another week of rehab would be in order when you're going up against them. So
you mean rehab or a day off?
5th sack of the game, and it's 1st and goal at the 5. Donald Brown, tailback, and they give it to Brown, and Brown gets to the 4. But what a defensive effort, and today, only 42 yards allowed on the ground. Now last week, they allowed 24 against the Cardinals, who just didn't run after most of the game, but 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a huge day for the defense.
And this is a bounce back from a couple of weeks ago when Miami ran for 239 yards on the ground. Larry Coyer got this team back ready to play in a very short amount of time.
2nd and goal at the 4. Hank Baskett, the former Eagle, seeing his first action, but they go to Brown, and Brown fights his way to the 1. So it'll be 3rd and goal, and that really, in a nutshell, tells the story of what the Seattle offense has been today. And it's not all on that man, but only 3 points, and they had a chance to make it closer. Don't forget Cowboys-Broncos coming up next. And the Broncos are undefeated. Can Tony Romo win it mile high? And that'll be the big question. Tough road place to play.
How about Josh McDaniel, 3-0 out of the gate with Kyle Orton? You talk about turmoil in the offseason. No one saw this coming, did they?
No. Timeout called by the Colts, and no expert predicted 3-0 start for the Broncos. So the first timeout by Indy, and with 7:03 to go in the 4th. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
I think similar to earlier in the game when I felt like the Colts really wanted to pound it in and give their offensive linemen something good to feel, something to feel good about. I think we're in a similar situation here where, with this type of a lead, why not? Guys, see if you can blow someone off the ball and get this in the end zone.
Look at the receiving and look at the yardage. 80 for Clark, 74 Wayne, 71 for Garcon, 65 for Collard.
Look how they spread around the catches, too. 8, 6, 3, 6. I think they've got Foster in the lineup as the fullback, too, the backup defensive tackle.
They do. 3rd and goal.
Look at him going spread. This is Foster.
Playing the slot. And Brown at the other slot, and there is a fade to Dallas Clark, and playing it perfectly was Deion Grant. So 4th down and goal from the 1.
Well, Mr. Tennessee, Peyton Manning, tries to victimize another Tennessee All-America in the past, Deion Grant. Good job by Grant with the jam, runs to the upfield shoulder, gets his head around. Excellent coverage, knocking that pass away from Dallas Clark. They'll talk about that at the Tennessee reunion next summer.
And, Peyton Manning said maybe we go for it, but Jim Caldwell, who has a lot of class, you're not going to do that here. And Vinatieri will go for the field goal. You're not going to pour salt on the wound. This will be a 19-yard field goal attempt. Less than a chip shot for Vinatieri. Makes good. His 2nd field goal of the game, and the Colts add to their lead 34-3.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Well, my partner Charles Davis at the outset say, hey, he's like Hannibal Lecter sometime. It can get in your head. That's what Peyton Manning can do, and has he ever today, as he has masterminded the offense and really overtaken Seattle, and they have the Seahawks talking to themselves over on the sideline. So Manning with 2 touchdown passes, a couple of touchdown runs, and a couple of field goals by Vinatieri as Obamanu returns the kick to about the 30-yard line. And let's get down to Jamie Maggio for a report.
All right, guys, just want to give you an injury update. The Colts number 74, Charlie Johnson, has a left knee injury. His return right now is questionable. On the Seattle side, number 67, Rob Sims. He has a left ankle. He is questionable as well. Tough on that offensive line that is already thin.
No question about it, Jamie. They were thin, and of course they long for Walter Jones to get back, and they hope he will. No guarantee there. And there's the slingshot to Justin Forsett, who, by the way, played in 3 games with the Colts last year, picks up 1 yard on the play. But, they hope to get a lot of their injured players back, I guess, Charles, which is good news, including Sean Locklear, who would be the backup to Walter Jones at left tackle.
Yeah, and was actually starting earlier this season
right
before
tackle,
he got hurt. But he prefers playing right tackle. You play Jones at left, Locklear at right, and then that strengthens you all across the line, because right now guys are playing out of position too.
And defense as well. And there is the fullback, Owen Schmidt, for the first time in the game. And Seattle Seahawks next week play home against Jacksonville. And last time we looked doing a number on Tennessee. Yeah. And then Arizona, and then the bye and so forth. But Seattle has gotten off on the wrong foot this year. Now you can say, well, they beat the Rams 23-0. But after that, the injuries and the loss, especially of Hasselbeck, really have hurt.
It's really been difficult. 2 years in a row, we're talking about injury issues in Seattle. knocking them off stride and not letting them go out and play to the best of their abilities.
3rd down and 8 for Seneca Wallace. And Wallace's pass is caught by Hushmanzada. And he is tackled at the 47, picking up 15 yards. So Hushmanzada with 5 receptions today.
It's TJ in the slot, working against the 2-deep coverage and breaks it off to the sideline and almost slips. Antoine Bethea cutting back inside, but a good job by Bethea. The Colts secondary tackles as well as any secondary in the NFL after the catch. You don't get much yardage after you catch the football.
And the Colts can play it soft here as Hushmanzada makes a great catch. They can afford to play it soft with a 34-3 lead, and Bullitt providing the hit on Hushmanzada and a 1st down to the 34.
And how about the Colts now appearing to get off to a 4-0 start as we go down the stretch? And Bob Sanders, their all-pro defensive back, has yet to play. Credit to the youngsters in the secondary. Great catch by Hushmanzada, but Melvin Bullitt, Antoine Bethea holding down the fort at safety.
Here comes the blitz. It's picked up, and the deep pass, and it was intended for Dion Butler, the Penn State rookie, and Gerard Powers defending nicely, bringing up 2nd down and 10. Well, you know, what are you going to say? The Seahawks in their lime green jerseys last week at home gave the Bears a tussle, and now back to their normal uniforms and going on the road, taking it on the chin against this Colt team.
And they were more than ready to play last week against Chicago. In a lot of ways left that game thinking they let one get away.
And this pass is caught by Burleson. By the way, Jamie Silva has gone in for Bullitt at strong safety for the Colts. And let's face it here, they're playing the tougher quarterback and a better set of receivers than they played all year long.
But although last week Jay Cutler does a pretty nice imitation of what we're seeing here today, but collectively for the Colts with Manning and his receivers, very tough to defend.
That's Jim Sorgi warming up and may see some action. And why not with this 31-point lead? Here is Seneca Wallace. Pass intended for Hushmanzada, incomplete.
31-point lead, and they still bring extra pressure. Marlon Jackson out of the nickel package comes with a blitz.
Colts playing at Tennessee, and you know that the Titans are going to be very hungry next week in that game before the Colts bye week. Melvin Bullitt back in there at strong safety. 4th down and 2. Here comes pressure with Bethea coming in. Pass is caught by Carlson. 1st down, and they get a few more. And out of bounds with 3:40 to go. And a 12-yard pickup as the Seahawks convert on 4th down.
Little zone blitz. Watch Raheem Brock, 79. He's going to back off into coverage, but he's no match for John Carlson. Out in the flat, Seneca Wallace finds the matchup he wants out of the zone blitz, reads it well, goes to the perfect target, John Carlson, to pick up the 1st down.
Raheem Brock, and scheduled to start in place of Freeney. Freeney seen a lot of action today. Pass to Carlson, who gets to about the 7-yard line. 7-yard pickup for Seattle as the Seahawks trying to get into the end zone for the first time today for Jim Mora. So it'll be Dallas and Denver, a big one coming up next. They have met in Super Bowls past. So there's the upcoming schedule for the Colts and the upcoming quarterbacks in our doubleheader game, Tony Romo and Kyle Orton. 2nd and 3. Seneca Wallace will run easily into the end zone for the 1st touchdown of the game for the Seahawks. 7-yard scamper. And it's 34-9.
Nicely done by Seneca Wallace. You know, sometimes you leave the back door open when you're bringing all that pressure. And that time Seneca Wallace saw the opening, darted through it for a touchdown for the Seahawks.
Olindo Mare. 34-10 with just under 3 minutes remaining in the game.
See, the pressure is going to come from the sides. Mathis, bottom, Brock at the top, and then the guys in the middle widened out also. Allowed Seneca Wallace to just jump into the hole and scamper into the end zone.
Well, you know, let's first talk about the NFC West, which is looks like it's going to be a dogfight with the 49ers getting off to a hot start this year. Now, Seahawks used to be the perennial champions with Mike Holmgren there, and of course Jim Moore in his first year, in a totally different cast now for this team, although the veteran Matt Hasselbeck still on the scene, trying to stay healthy. And Hasselbeck having to endure another game like this. Jamie Maggio, not easy for him.
No, it's not easy. I spoke to him before the game, and he said he hopes to actually practice this coming week. What he wants to do is check with the team doctor to see if he's a candidate for a shot. With this shot, what they do is they take a blood sample, they enrich the blood, and they inject it into the fracture. If he gets this shot, he may be practicing as early as Wednesday. Dick, back to you.
It's all good news, Jamie, if he gets back. And here's the onside kick attempt, and it's almost recovered by the Seahawks, and maybe they did wind up with it. Yes.
Now, did it go 10 yards will be the initial question, because Deion Grant, I believe, was the first guy to touch the football. And if it didn't go 10 yards before he touched him, then this doesn't count. No, I think it did go 10 yards. I mean, the angle there is not perfect, but it sure is.
Peyton Manning looks like he had a 4-interception game over there instead of throwing for 353 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Nice hustle down the stretch by Seattle.
This is what a coaching staff looks for in games like this.
Exactly right.
First down, Seneca Wallace using his legs, throwing incomplete to Deion Butler, bringing up second down. Now, what about the Colts, who, you know, what they need to do after 2 great winning seasons is to get by the first round of the playoffs. First, you got to get there. They've lost to San Diego Chargers the last 2 years, 1 at home and 1 on the road.
And they go to Tennessee next week. As you mentioned, last time we saw their score, they were getting thumped by the Jacksonville Jaguars. If they come into that game 0-4 the season, a very dangerous game for Indianapolis to walk into.
Tennessee's down by 20, we understand. That's not good news for the Colts, as Houshmandzadeh makes the catch and a first down to the 39-yard line. You know, Jeff Fisher, sooner or later, he's got an 0-4 team at home.
And what a surprise.
Yeah, and do you think he needs much to get this team up for playing Manning and the Colts?
One wouldn't think so, because I think most of us thought this would be the week, going to Jacksonville at 0-3, that they would make that big stand. So this is quite a surprise that the Tennessee Titans staring 0-4 in the face.
Pass caught by Carlson, who is down. Of course, they don't have Albert Hainsworth anymore. But you know, it's funny, as we get close to the 2-minute warning, I don't know why I feel this way, but if any coach can bring a team back from 0-4, it would be Jeff Fisher. Yeah. 2 minutes remaining in the game here in Indianapolis, with the Colts beating up Seattle to the tune of 34-10.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by AT&T. Your world delivered.
You know, the fathers of Peyton Manning and Matt Hasselbeck were Archie Manning and Don Hasselbeck, and they were together in their last years with the Minnesota Vikings in 1984. And those 2 young quarterbacks, 8 years old, used to play in that practice field. They go way back, a long way. And the pass caught by Houshmandzadeh to the 22-yard line. So the family goes on, and Eli Manning, who is to success over Kansas City. What a day for the Mannings. Eli with 3 touchdowns and 1 pick. Peyton with 2 touchdown passes.
So a very happy day for Archie and Olivia. Don't have to worry about consoling one.
550 yards of passing for the family. And there's some more yards for Seneca Wallace. Deion Branch making the catch. As we wind down to a minute remaining, and it'll be 1st and 10 Peyton Manning off to a fantastic start this year. As Charles pointed out, what a great show when he gets to the line of scrimmage. His pass is incomplete with 54 seconds. We want to thank our producer Fran Morrison and director Artie Kempner for their fine job leading our great production and technical crew. Marvin Kale, our technical producer today. Technical director John Howard. Audio mixer Jeff Cohen. Our associate director is Wayne Wilson, and the broadcast associate is Yvonne Wagoner. Studio show was produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy, and the associate director was Stephanie Medina. Under a minute remaining, 2nd and goal, and this pass is caught at the 5 by 4 set, and he's down at the 4. And we got some more. The highlights coordinator is Janice Casaza, and the Kansas City Giant game is in our future. When this game is over, we're going to go out there and you can catch Eli in the final minutes of that game. See whether he can get to 300 yards. 3rd down and 4. And Wallace's pass batted away. Tried to get it to Burleson, and a good play by Tim Jennings. And a flag is down with 22 seconds remaining. I can tell you, after Mike Carey tells us.
Pass interference. Defense number 23. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic. First down.
So it's on Jennings.
Look at Jennings driving on the football. Got there just a tad too soon against Nate Burleson.
Highlight coordinator Janice Casaza and the studio technical supervisor Jack Simmons. 1st and goal at the 1, and the Colts call a timeout.
Indianapolis, their 2nd.
Our supervisor of remote field operations is Jerry Steinberg. The senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown. And the executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. And 22 seconds left in this game, and Seahawks just trying to cut the deficit a little more. Kurt Menefee is standing by in our studios in Los Angeles, ready to take you on to the next step. Cowboys Broncos is the next game in our Fox NFL doubleheader. Play action and a touchdown pass to Owen Schmidt with 19 seconds remaining. And this game was not as close as the score will indicate.
Exactly right, because this game was decided a while ago, and then an onside kick after the touchdown gives them a chance to come downfield again. I don't think the Colts had all their starters on the field down the stretch. The Seahawks put up 2 touchdowns for cosmetic purposes.
Exactly. Orlando Mare with the kick, and it's 34-17. So the coaches will go back to the drawing board as the Seahawks go back home. And it was a tough game for Seneca Wallace.
Okay, Owen Schmidt out of the backfield from the fullback position. Gets through the wash, gets into the flat. John Carlson kind of serving as a blocker for him without actually blocking.
As Jim Mora told Jamie Maggio at halftime, and they pile on, it's 34-17. They have the avalanche of a win here, but it all came down to the mistakes that the Seahawks made when they had chances to score in the first half.
First half, both offensively and defensively, they kept drives alive for the Colts defensively. They killed their own drives offensively. And when you leave points on the field, really for the 2nd week in a row for Seattle, that puts you in a very difficult position.
By the way, Owen Schmidt scoring his first career touchdown. 19 seconds remaining, and the Indianapolis Colts extending their regular season winning streak to 13 games. That's the longest active streak. And the Colts will run it out starting from the 20. So 13 in a row. And 9 to end the regular season last year, and 4 to start this one. That is consistency.
Yes, it is. Almost harkens back to the year they started 13-0 from the start of the regular season. Remember that season? Peyton Manning was electric that year. Of course, he seems to be electric every year, doesn't he?
And the point you made at the outset, you know, they never run out of weapons. Marvin Harrison not here. Anthony Gonzalez is hurt. And up steps Garcon and Austin Collie and the rest. And the Indianapolis Colts will win 34-17 to go 4-0. Seattle drops to 1-3. So for Charles Davis, this is Dick Stockton saying so long from Indianapolis. Congratulations, Mora and Caldwell. And right now we will take you to Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles. So long, everybody.